Robert came and went back. Newell, it's in! It's a fine strike by Mike. And Blackburn have the lead.
The champions were once again setting the pace and doing it with some style. But not all great goals are down to style. Carlton Palmer's wonderful effort against Ipswich was all about power. Peter Beardsley rejoined Newcastle from Everton during the summer and helped out Andy Cole with 21 goals. One of the best team goals from this season was scored by Spurs at QPR. Manchester United against Blackburn was a top-of-the-table clash.
Gallagher has nicked it past Pallister here. Kevin Gallagher trying to go on. He's got all the way on and scores. Superb solo goal by Kevin Gallagher.
There's always something very special about scoring a great goal in a big game. So imagine how Ryan Giggs felt when he did this against Liverpool at Anfield. Franz Carr was a player capable of conjuring up something in front of goal. That was also the case with Chelsea's John Spencer.
It's goals now in his last 4 games.
Norwich couldn't quite hit the heights of the previous season, but the Chris Sutton, Efan Ekoku partnership reaped 37 goals.
Shearer's made the break in here behind Pallister. It was a great ball. Shearer might finish it. The glory belongs to Alan Shearer, to Kenny Dalglish and to Blackburn Rovers.
Every so often a goal is scored which is applauded by both sets of fans. Jeremy Goss was making a name for himself with such strikes. Southampton's Matt Le Tissier's sublime skills gave him hero status at the Dell. It's not hard to see why. Le Tissier's first goal against Newcastle in late October underlined his class.
It didn't quite strike the finish as crisply as I wanted to. It went where I wanted it to, but it just came off the bottom of my boot a little bit. And yeah, it was one of the, at that point, that was the best goal I've ever scored in my career.
He ran that close just 25 minutes later.
Danger not over. Le Tissier! Can you believe it? We have seen it and we don't believe it. Unbelievable.
United's pace in attack was proving difficult to defend from the moment Peter Schmeichel cleared his lines to the moment Mark Hughes put the ball in the back of the Sheffield United net. Just 12 seconds. Cantona again proved to be the linchpin to Manchester United's title campaign. 18 goals from the Frenchman helped the club to its second FA Premier League title and to become only the 6th side in English football to win the coveted League and Cup double. The power of the header, as spectacular as it is effective. Throughout the first decade of the FA Premier League, many a great goal has come from the head rather than the foot. Here are just a selection from our vault.
I just wanted to ask if there's any diving school in London.
German World Cup winner Jürgen Klinsmann's reputation for on-the-pitch diving was as much a talking point as his football prowess when he arrived at White Hart Lane in the summer of '94, at a time when foreign talent was still somewhat of a novelty in English football. Klinsmann's impact was immediate, a goal on Tottenham's opening day.
The celebration of the dive was really kind of Teddy's idea, Teddy Sheringham's idea. He said that before the game, you know, if you're going to score your first goal, we're all going to do the dive. And then funny thing was that, you know, everybody liked it and had a laugh about it. And so Teddy came a couple of days later and said, you know, if you score again in the second game, you know, Charlie, my little boy at that time, he was little, now he's not little anymore, he wants to see it again.
4 days later, against Everton, Klinsmann delivered again. Liverpool mounted their challenge with a young, talented side, which included Steve McManaman. Wimbledon's first home game was against Ipswich and produced a splendid goal from Dean Holdsworth. Wimbledon were on the receiving end too. More trickery from Ryan Giggs, more perfection from Eric Cantona. Newcastle's attacking play was winning fans all over the country. Andy Cole broke the 20-goal barrier for the Magpies, as he'd done the season before.
Fox took that well. Robert Lee is the runner. Sellers in the centre. Lee! Oh! A quite glorious goal from Robert Lee.
On the 28th of August of '94, Liverpool's Robbie Fowler created an early piece of FA Premier League history by netting a hat-trick against Arsenal at Anfield in under 5 minutes.
Fowler. Shot has gone in. It's two. It's Fowler. Is this going to be his hat-trick? It has to be, surely, yes. An incredible story. Fowler 3, Arsenal 0.
To do that against a great Arsenal side, for me that was, I mean, that's probably one of the highlights of my career.
If the future of Liverpool was looking rosy red, then the old guard still had a lot to offer. John Barnes came out with something special against Blackburn. And Franz Carr proved that lightning can strike twice. Different club, different end, same result. Dion Dublin left Manchester United for Coventry City for £2 million. 7 goals in 8 games proved it was money well spent. The enigmatic talents of Stan Collymore were displayed at no less than 6 FA Premier League clubs. 22 goals at Nottingham Forest was Collymore at his very best.
Almost at the halfway point in the second half. It's Collymore for Forest. So easily past the first tackle. Still Collymore. Magnificent goal.
Roy. Collymore! Stan Collymore! Steve McManaman underlined how good a season he was having, this time against Wimbledon. While Matt Le Tissier was busy keeping Southampton mid-table, he continued to leave their fans breathless with his stunning shooting. Matt's weaving run and strike against Blackburn gave him a second nomination for the goal of the decade.
From my point of view, it was the shot that I hit was everything that I was trying to do. It was for me the perfect strike. Yeah, it was the sort of trajectory of the ball was everything I was trying to do, and it dipped in just underneath the crossbar in the postage stamp, and which was nice to see my old mate Timmy Flowers floundering in the net with himself. It was great.
Just 2 matches later, and Le Tissier was at it again. It was a terrific season for strikers. No fewer than 6 scored 20 goals. One of them was Jurgen Klinsmann. In March '95, Ipswich Town were on the receiving end of what is still the biggest ever defeat in FA Premier League history. 9-0 to Manchester United at Old Trafford. Along the way, Andy Cole became the fastest player to 50 league goals, and the striker hit the back of the net 4 more times to become the first player to score 5 in an FA Premier League match.
United 9.
Aston Villa had an average season, just avoiding relegation. One of their highlights, though, this effort from Dean Saunders. All too often, however, Villa were on the receiving end. Peter Beardsley danced through their defence here. Strength, balance, poise and clinical finishing are all hallmarks of an Alan Shearer goal. But some please him more than others, like this effort against Queen's Park Rangers.
I thought, well, why not have a pop? Which I have done, and if I remember rightly, it went in off the crossbar, and it was one of my better ones, put it that way.
Blackburn were the league's top scorers in '94-95, and it wasn't all about Shearer. Ipswich were relegated this season. They conceded 93 goals, including this great effort from John Barnes. And just to complete a miserable season for East Anglia, Norwich went down too. This time they were caught out by the brilliance of Beardsley.
Chelskis. It's a great ball. Cantona takes it in his stride and fires Manchester United into the lead. 24 minutes gone. And a goal with a real overseas flavour.
The jury's still out in the championship race. Oh my God!
It was a nail-biting final day of the season. A draw or better for Blackburn against Liverpool would guarantee them their first FA Premier League title, while Manchester United needed at least to win at West Ham. Despite Rovers' 2-1 defeat, news filtered through that United had only claimed 1 point at Upton Park. So 3 years after gaining FA Premier League status, the biggest prize in English football had found a home at Ewood Park. Leeds United's signing of Tony Yeboah in January '95 had fuelled a new optimism at Elland Road. And the Ghanaian striker put together a series of astonishing strikes early in the new season. Leeds were at home to rivals Liverpool for the second match of the campaign.
All the players was talking about, yeah, this game we have to do, we have to win, and you know. So every player was so nervous. So I was so determined. I said, no, today I have to do something. Every day I can watch it every day. You know, it make you very exciting.
Barely a month later, Yeboah put 3 into the back of the Wimbledon net, including this nomination for Goal of the Decade. Back on the opening day of the season, Manchester United lost 3-1 to Aston Villa, but a 20-year-old David Beckham was on the score sheet for the first time. And while an England captain-to-be was making his mark, a former England captain was doing the same.
Now Bashira brings it down in one, slips it to his left. David Batty surely got to have a go from here. What a strike!
Dion Dublin was again indispensable to the Coventry cause. John McGinley's effort was a rare delight for Bolton Wanderers this season. They struggled with relegation. Stan Collymore had moved from Nottingham Forest to Liverpool in the close season and made a spectacular impact at Anfield.
Well, he's done it again, as he did on his Anfield debut on the opening day of the season. And Blackburn can't believe this.
Dennis Bergkamp had joined Arsenal in the summer and in his first season gave us an insight into the quality he had in front of goal. He partnered Ian Wright up front for Arsenal. They hit 26 goals between them. Christmas came early for Robbie Fowler when he became the youngest player to score 50 FA Premier League goals, with this effort against Manchester United in December.
Fowler surely down.
Obviously it might get, you know, broken tomorrow or, you know, the day after, but I mean, I can always take that to my grave, and I can always tell my kids who can tell their kids, and know what a good player their granddad was as well.
An 18-year-old prospect called Jason Ewell was catching the eye as one to watch at Wimbledon. while a more established player was again showing his class. Teddy Sheringham scored 16 goals, some of them sublime. An unknown Yugoslav international arrived in England this season, Sasha Čurčić. His goal against Chelsea alerted everyone to his talent. Now, in his 4th season with Aston Villa, Dwight Yorke came of age as a striker with 17 league goals, including this one against Tottenham.
That particular time, I had to pull something out the bag because I would have made to look a fool, because I really did run out of ideas where to go, because there was just Spurs players around me at that particular time. But however, I've done a couple of the Spurs players and buried the ball in the back of the net, which I was absolutely delighted about.
Robbie Fowler wasn't content to stay on 50. His best of the season came against Aston Villa. John Hartson was up against strong competition at Arsenal for a first-team place, but he too showed what he's capable of. Every so often a match is etched in the memories of all football fans forever. The classic Liverpool and Newcastle epic in April '96 ebbed and flowed until in the 90th minute the game was locked at 3-3. Then it was sealed by Stan Collymore in the most dramatic manner. Manchester City went down this year, but they did score one of the goals of the campaign through Georgi Kinkladze. There was no better sight in English football than Kinkladze in full flight. On the other side of Manchester, United were marching towards another title, led by their own foreign talisman, Eric Cantona. 14 goals this season for the majestic Frenchman. Coventry avoided relegation on goal difference. So what price Dion Dublin's 14 goals? Alan Shearer led the way with 31 goals in 95-96, becoming the first player to score 30 league goals for 3 consecutive seasons.
I was playing with a hernia, and I